Hey everyone, it's your boy Matt, and I'm coming at you with a deck matchup. Today we're doing my Eldlich deck versus a Swordsoul Tenyi DPE deck. This is on Master Duel, so yeah, if you like to play Master Duel, yeah, you should check out this replay. This is a very interesting replay for a number of reasons, which you'll see soon. So yeah, I do find it. So they recently released the Diamond tier, so I'm currently Diamond 3 on my way climbing up to Diamond 1. Yeah, I don't feel like I don't know, like the grind is that much worse. Like, yeah, like 5 wins per tier is pretty reasonable. Yeah, I've been mostly seeing Sword Soul and or like just Phantom Knights DPE decks, but yeah, still doesn't no match for my Eldlich deck, and well, I am happy that I'm not really seeing Drytrons anymore because their turns just take forever. And like your ability to beat Drytron is dependent on whether or not you open Solemn Strike. Whereas there's plenty of ways to beat DP like Sword Soul, etc. Anyway, so let's get into this duel. Alright, let's see what they do. So I do lose the coin toss, and they do choose to go first. So I will be going second. Alright, so I have a pretty solid opening hand. I have the two best floodgates in my deck, Skill Drain, Goes a Match. Always nice to see together. An Eldlich Engine Piece, a Pot of Extravagance, and of course the D Barrier. Yeah, the big D Barrier. The D's Nuts Barrier. This card is great. I haven't been playing this in Master Duel until recently. Yeah, like back when it was like Tri-Brigade, like and there was a lot of more like those decks running around. I didn't bother with D-Barrier. Now that Sword Soul is everywhere and DP exists, D-Barrier is a great tech now. Worst case, you're against a generic deck that uses DP. DP's in the graveyard. You flip this on this draw phase, on their draw phase. You call fusions, and they can no longer revive DP. So anyway, all right. So let's see what they do. Very standard Sword Soul stuff. Summon Ecclesia. Get Moye. Moye will reveal the Taya. Get a token. Wow. So this dude opened. So look how crazy this opening hand for this guy does. He opened all three Sword Soul names. I mean technically two, but he had Incredible Ecclesia, so he basically opened all three, right? Yep. So he goes into the Barone play. So rather than making Chi Shao right away with these two, he went for the Barone. So for those of you who don't know, this is how Sword Soul plays around Nibiru, right? So right here, Barone is the 5th summon. So if he went Chi Shao first, and then Longan into Barone, Sword Soul can be hit with Nibiru right before the Barone summon. So the Longan token is the 5th summon. So if you want to play around Nibiru, when you already have Longren, like sometimes you need Chi Shao to search the Longren, but if you already have Longren, you play around Nibiru by doing this, what this guy just did, alright? Get the Barone out first as the 5th summon. The Longren's gonna burn me. Okay, there's Chi Shao. So at this point, I thought he was gonna search Sword Soul Blackout, but he actually searches Sword Soul Summit, Sacred Summit. And I guess the reason he does this is because he wants to revive his Taya, so he can get another Synchro monster here. And he goes for the, as you may expect, Adamancipator Dragite, Arisen Dragite. It's a Spell Trap Negate. So he's got Omni Negate, a Spell Trap Negate, and a Monster Effect Negate. Very solid. So, hold on. So, I'm going to pause. But another thing that he did was he got Vishuda into the graveyard via Taya's effect. So he now has a follow-up, a bounce, right? And this dude hard drew Fusion Destiny. How crazy is this? Yeah, this is like the Sword Soul Dream right here. Wow, look at all these monsters. By the way, just so you know, goes in match. Wind, water, dark, light. So all I have to do is make sure that I can get goes in match and Skill Drain to resolve. So here's what's going to happen. So I draw Eldlich, which is great. This is exactly what I want to draw because I need to immediately pressure a negate out of him. So first I'm going to use Extrav to see if I can You know, it's like the first play of the turn. Is he really going to use a spell trap negate? Maybe not. Anyway, so I draw a second Gozer Match and Needle Sealing. Needle Sealing is muy bueno because it's like my backup plan. If my floodgates don't go through, I have a Needle Sealing, right? Alright, so Eldlich is going to go with Scarlet Sanguine and attempt to send DP to the graveyard. Alright, so for those of you who don't know, if you're like one of those newer players on Master Duel, so the Eldlich effect does not destroy, right? So I'm trying to, it sends to the graveyard. So I'm trying to send DP to the graveyard. If he does not respond, then DP will be sent to the graveyard and he will no longer be able to revive it, right? So he has two options here. He either must chain DP, pop 2 of his cards, or including DP, or he chains Barone and no more Omni Negate for Barone. So he decides to chain the Barone, which is kind of what I was hoping for. I mean, you know, actually I was preferring that he could use his DP to pop 2 of his monsters, but I'm okay with this. I wanted to get an Omni Negate out of the way. So I'm going to go ahead and set the second copy of Gozen Match to try to revive the Eldlich. So at this point, I want to revive Eldlich at 3,500 attack so that I can just straight up swing into DPE, right? Because I don't want DP using its effect to pop my cards, right? So yeah, so I was hoping to swing into DP, but this motherfucker actually main decks Ghost Bell, which is very surprising because, like, I can't really, I mean, other than, like, enemy DPEs, when are you really using Ghost Bell in this Master Duel format? I guess here against Eldlich, but it doesn't hit any parts of the main Swordsoul engine. I don't think it does anything to Drytron either. I mean, I know Drytron got a small nerf, like Ben 10 to 1, but still running around, right? Like, I want to say it doesn't hit most decks. I guess it hits Tri-Brigade Revolt, but I mean, I've been playing, like, I haven't seen a Tri-Brigade in so long, since the Swordsoul stuff came out. Phantom Knights, I guess it stops some Phantom Knights from reviving from the graveyard, but I don't know. I feel Ghost Bell is not as good as, like, a DD Crow, in this format anyway. I don't know. That's just my opinion. But anyway, all right. So he does have the Ghost Bell. So I'm feeling really sad right now because, yeah, I wanted I wanted my Eldlich to take out one of their boss monsters, specifically the DPE, or maybe even the Adamantipator. But yeah, so that gets negated. So I try to set an Eldlich trap, and he actually uses the Adamantipator negate, which is kind of interesting. But I mean, I guess this is free once per turn, and I guess he doesn't expect to use it anywhere else. So I set 4. He actually allows his DP to pass, to pop in the end phase, which is kind of a mistake, but then again, maybe he forgot about that requirement that Fusion Destiny must pop the monster in the end phase, because it's a mandatory effect, right? So maybe he was waiting for the end phase to pop one of my cards, but then, I don't know, maybe Fusion Destiny. Anyway, so, hold on, why did Incredible Ecclesia return to the hand? During the end phase, if a fusion monster was sent to the graveyard, oh, add this card from the graveyard. Oh, I actually never knew that Ecclesia had that effect. That's very interesting. I don't often see Swordsoul DPE because it's not good. So by the way, if you're a Master Duel player and you're playing Swordsoul DPE, it's not good. Just putting that out there. Like, you're better off playing pure Tenyi, like Worms, right? It's like DP is not good. I mean, it has this neat little interaction, but yeah, it's not good otherwise. All right. So, alright, so here's what I'm going to do. So DP is set to revive next turn, right? I'm going to immediately Gozen Match on draw phase, which will force the Adamantipator negate. And then I'm going to skill drain that sucker. So, yeah. His Barone negate is gone, so he will have to get rid of 2 of his monsters. Surprisingly, he decides to keep Chi-Shao. I don't know why, but it'll become clear, I guess, a little later. So DP cannot revive anything. So he's just going to direct attack, swing for 28. That's fine. Alright, so at this point, I'm just going to draw. Let's see what we'll draw. Huaquero is nice. I'm going to set the Huaquero, and I'm going to use Eldlich to summon itself. So he actually, looks like he hard draws the Blackout, and I guess that's why he decides to keep the Chi-Shao. So yeah, Chi-Shao with Blackout will pop my 2 floodgates. I'm going to summon the Eldlich here at 35. And I'm going to swing for 35. Alright, so this motherfucker had evenly matched. Alright, I'm telling you, this guy has like the luckiest draws, luckiest hands in the world. He has a Ghost Bell to stop my Eldlich. He hard draws Blackout to take out the 2 Floodgates. Like, he hard drew like all his starters and Fusion Destiny. Like, this is insane amounts of luck on this guy, right? Crazy. Anyway, so at this point I'm thinking, alright, I have to keep 1 card. Even though it sucks, I am going to banish my Eldlich. Why? Because D-Barrier is way too freaking good against Sword Soul. Like, just stopping him from Synchro Summoning for 1 turn is massive, right? And I just sent a Huaquero to the graveyard, so I'm going to get an Elixir in the end phase anyway, and I'm going to summon my second Eldlich. So yeah, I'm okay banishing my one Eldlich here because D-Barrier is way too good of a card. But yeah, how lucky is this guy? He also had evenly matched. Crazy. Anyway. End phase, get my Elixir. Alright, so he has 1 card in hand. So if this is Ash, it could stop my Elixir, but like, or Ghost Bell. But what are the odds, right? So what does he draw? No, I know it is. It's Ecclesia. Yeah, he recycled Ecclesia back previously, right? Okay. So he's normal as Ecclesia. Uses it to summon Moye. And Moye will reveal a second Moye in the hand. Alright, so this is perfect because I have D-Barrier, he's not going to be able to Synchro Summon here, right? So he gets the token. I'm going to immediately call Synchro, so he cannot Synchro Summon. He tries to use Vishuda to bounce this, which is kind of silly, because I'm just going to chain immediately. I mean, I guess the alternative is like he goes battle phase, I summon Eldlich, because he doesn't have Ash or Ghost Bell, and then in main phase 2 he bounces my Eldlich with Vishuda. But that's also kind of a waste because I'll just summon Eldlich back next turn anyway. Like, I don't know. Either way, this Vishuda was kind of was silly, right? Alright, and then he's just going to end this turn. Cool. So I know for a fact that he has a Moye in the hand. So my goal right now is to take out his tuner, right? 2 Moyes will do nothing. So this Moye can only produce a new token if he draws a worm monster. And what are the odds of that, right? But in any case, even if he draws a worm monster, I have Conquistador now. So I have a way to get rid of a tuner, right? So he actually top decks another Ecclesia, and he uses Dasher to special summon this Ecclesia. So at this point, so by the way, Ecclesia is a tuner, right? So at this point, I'm just gonna immediately pop Ecclesia because I can't have him go into a Synchro 8. So at this point, he does have Celestial in the graveyard, but the problem is that he has a Moye in hand, right? So this Moye, even though this guy has not used his normal summon, if he normal summons Moye, he can't use the effect to get a token. So this Moye is kind of dead. But he wants Celestial to draw him 2 cards, so he has to summon Moye, right? So he actually sets Moye, he uses Celestial to draw 2 cards. So at this point, he's already used his normal summon, and he cannot if he draws an Ecclesia, he can't use Ecclesia to special summon because it does not meet the condition. So best case, he top decks a Longian with a worm monster. That's his best. Actually, does Longian require a worm? Or yeah, it requires a worm. Yeah. So if he top decks Longian with a worm, he wins the game. So he does not top deck that. All right. So check out this little bit of spice. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and link my Conquistador into the I'm Duck, baby. That's right, I'm Duck, right? So this is why you run I'm Duck, right? So now I'm going to link I'm Duck and Eldlich into Win the Wind Charmer. So you can only make Win if you have a Wind Monster, and I'm Duck is a Wind Monster that can be linked from your Golden Land traps. And now look at this. Alright, so he's going to max C. Doesn't matter. At this point, the game is over. Here's why. I mean, I guess the only way he can stop this is if he has Imperm set. I'm actually curious what this card is. Oh, it won't let me see. But anyway, I'm going to use Wind to revive his Barone, baby. Barone is a wind monster. This is why you run Wind the Wind Charmer. So he gets a draw off Maxi, but it doesn't matter. So I have a few options here. I can pop the back row and then summon Eldlich, and then I have enough for game. Or I can just pop one of his monsters, swing the other one, and then Barone swing. And then this back row is irrelevant because Barone has an Omni Negate, right? Once while face up on the field. So yeah, this Barone has an Omni Negate. So if whatever back row he tries to flip, I'm just going to negate it. So I'm just going to use Barone to pop his Moye. I know his second monster is a Moye. So Win will kill it, and then Barone. Yeah, exactly. Barone's just gonna swing for game. Yeah, very, very satisfying. Oh man, uh, very satisfying beating Sword Soul with their own monsters, mind you. But yeah, um, I mean, did he misplay a little bit? Perhaps, but yeah, even at full power, that was like a full power Sword Soul board, probably. Well, maybe you could argue that like Arch Nemesis Protoss might have been better than DPE, right? Or something else, but whatever. Yep. Anyway, so that was fun, and a pretty satisfying victory, if I do say so. All right, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. I will be putting out my Eldlich deck profile eventually. I'm gonna reach Diamond 1 first, then I'm gonna put out my Dark Magician deck, and I'm gonna put out my Eldlich deck, both for post, this new ban list. Stay tuned for that. Dark Magician deck is ready. It's ready to go, but I just want to be Diamond 1 when I release it so that I can say that I'm Diamond 1. But yeah, for Eldlich, still kind of playtesting it. But yeah, I think D barrier is definitely the right way to go here. You lost 2 Conquistador. What do you put in? 2 D barrier. Start there, and then there's also Heavenly Prison, which I'll talk about later. But yeah. All right. Thank you all for watching. Hope you learned something, and see you in the next video. Peace.